The Qanoon-e-Shahadat Order, 1984, stands as the primary law governing evidence in Pakistani courts. This legal framework draws inspiration from Islamic jurisprudence, aiming to align legal proceedings with Islamic principles of justice. In contrast, the Indian Evidence Act of 1872, a product of the British colonial era, continues to guide evidentiary matters in India. This essay delves into the Islamic principles embedded within the Qanoon-e-Shahadat Order, comparing and contrasting them with the Indian Evidence Act. We will explore how these two systems, originating from different historical and cultural contexts, approach the crucial task of determining truth in legal matters. Understanding the nuances of these systems is vital. It sheds light on the impact of cultural values on legal frameworks. This comparative analysis aims to foster a deeper understanding of how different societies approach the complex issue of evidence in pursuing justice. The Indian Evidence Act of 1872 emerged from British colonial rule in India. It reflected a system largely based on English common law principles. This act aimed to standardize evidentiary rules across a vast and diverse subcontinent. However, after the partition of India in 1947, Pakistan, with its newfound identity as an Islamic republic, sought to align its legal system with Islamic principles. This aspiration led to the promulgation of the Qanoon-e-Shahadat Order in 1984. This order marked a significant shift. It aimed to incorporate Islamic legal maxims and principles of evidence into the Pakistani legal framework. This move reflected a broader trend of legal reform in many Muslim-majority nations after gaining independence. They sought to reclaim their legal identity rooted in Islamic tradition. Several key Islamic principles underpin the Qanoon-e-Shahadat Order. One fundamental principle is the emphasis on justice, or ADL, and fairness. This emphasis is evident in the order's approach to witnesses. Islam places great importance on the integrity and piety of witnesses. The order reflects this by allowing for the judge to assess the character and credibility of witnesses. This provision aims to prevent false testimony from obstructing justice. Another vital Islamic principle reflected in the order is the concept of the burden of proof. In Islamic law, the burden of proof generally lies with the accuser, and the accused is given the benefit of the doubt in the absence of clear evidence. This principle is echoed in the order's provisions on the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. While the Qanoon-e-Shahadat Order draws inspiration from Islamic principles, it also shares similarities with the Indian Evidence Act in certain aspects. Both systems recognize the importance of oral and documentary evidence. They also outline rules for the admissibility and relevance of evidence, aiming to ensure a fair and just trial. However, some notable differences arise from their divergent philosophical foundations. For instance, the Indian Evidence Act generally excludes hearsay evidence, while the Qanoon-e-Shahadat Order allows for exceptions to this rule in specific circumstances, particularly when it aligns with the principles of Islamic justice. Additionally, the order gives greater weight to the testimony of men over women in financial matters is also a misconception. The womenfolk generally have lesser knowledge as they do not sit in general gathering of men in tribal systems and do not know, hence number of witnesses are from 1 to 2 to ensure justice and fairness, reflecting a specific interpretation of Islamic law. This provision has drawn criticism for potentially contradicting the broader Islamic emphasis on justice and fairness.